According to the picture owner that I asked, ambakan falls is very close here. So right now I'm here in the smallest plaza. That one. I want to visit ambakan falls because that's how my friends told me that there's a nearby waterfalls here in wharf. So I get curious about that place. If I found it, I'll post the exact location here in Chillride so that some of you, especially those budget-friendly bikers, can find it here in Guimaras. According to the Facebook post that I saw, it's just 3 kilometers from Rora Port going to that waterfalls. Hopefully I could find it. So join me. Venturing waterfalls like this is very challenging. That's why I take my food and also my water and also some mosquito repellent here in my bag. This is to prevent mosquitoes from attacking me. See these rugged terrains, it's beautiful. Natural rock formations with my bike here in the creek. I love it. Right now I can see the creek over there. All I need is to follow that road going to Ambakan Falls. It's a little bit challenging, but it's worth rewarding because that's the role of a chill rider like me, a solo rider who wants to venture everything all by oneself. And that's me. Too many crossroads and it's challenging, very challenging. Now where should I go next? I'm now back on track again. I went back to that house of an old man. I left my bike there because I find out that it's very difficult to take the bike into that waterfall, and not just the mossy stones or mossy boulders that can be found in the riverbed. This is actually not a river, it's just an ordinary creek. But you know, this kind of road where there are lots of spiky bamboo stems like this, it's a challenge, very challenging for me. So I have no choice but to leave my bike. Since Guimaras has less crime rate compared to Iloilo City, I have no choice but to leave my bike there for my safety purposes, because the waterfalls, as what I see in the rocks down there, it has lots of lichens growing in these rocks, which is very slippery and very dangerous. So okay, there goes the challenge. Join me. There's lots of beautiful rock formations here in the road going to what we called falls. So for my own safety purposes, I always take care of myself in this kind of road condition where rocks is considered to be very slippery. One simple error could lead to disaster. Because of these plants growing beside the creek, extra caution is needed going down. And by the way, what you hear is not just a wild bird. It's just a chicken running from something unknown. Maybe another rooster want to mate with that hen, because that's an hen. Okay, here I go. Oh my goodness, that was too slippery. I think I better remove my gloves for safety purposes, because that is too slippery. That's the mark of my slipper. Now, this is how dangerous it is going to the waterfalls. Whew. So far the creek has no turtles, no nothing at all, except for that bamboo bridge. So here we go. Extra careful when crossing slippery rocks like this one. Always grab anything that can hold your hand, because one simple error could lead to a fatal accident. That is something I don't want to happen, because it's very difficult here in case of emergency. Ambulance can find it hard to going down there. Beautiful rock formations. Wow. Local ferns growing in this place. Check this out. Yeah. Natural pool. And also natural pool. If the waterfall is in rainy season, according to the local old guy that I asked for directions, when the water is very strong, this pool becomes a natural jacuzzi. But it's no ordinary pool. It's actually a sinkhole. Possibly there's a nearby underground cave beneath this ground. Sinkholes is actually very common here in Guimaras. That is why the Guimaras LGU has a very strict protocol in terms of building constructions here. As much as I know, there's no skyscrapers here in Guimaras. This local wild ferns. I think I'll better get some of this and take home. These are, wow. I'll better get some and take it home. If I could uproot one healthy fern like this. But before I'm uprooting some of these ferns, I need to ask permission from the elementals, because this place, as I'm walking here, I can feel the presence of elementals in the area, which need to be given respect at all times. Just like what I'm used to say in this particular place, tabi tabi. If it case that you find a local wildlife, especially turtles in this area, please don't remove them in their natural habitat. This turtle lives in the wild, so by leaving them, you're giving respect to the elementals and the spirits around this place. Aside from that, some turtles here in Guimaras is being protected by the government. They are not endangered species, but they need to be protected at all costs. So we need to preserve some of the local wildlife. If the turtle grow, should I say, born in a captivity, that turtle cannot survive on its own in this particular place. So it is very important that captive breed turtles should remain in captivity, while those in the wild, they know how to hunt and find their own food. Therefore they should be left alone. That's how nature should be. Is very important in the balance of the ecosystem of a certain place, like this one. Many years ago, maybe in the early 80s, there are lots of monkeys in this area, but now only skinks can be found here. Skinks, which is a natural predator in Guimaras, they thrive in this particular location because they eat anything from tadpoles to spiders and any smaller animals that can be found here in Guimaras. Turtles they are actually scavengers, but now they are being hunted as food and being used there by some of the locals as accessories. There's the place. It's not the waterfalls yet. As I check this place, I found some local wildlife here. Native guppies that only thrive here in Guimaras, and some type of shells and cichlids that can grow in a brackish water, because Guimaras has a saline water sources. It's a combination of fresh and salt water. That is why if you drinking water here in Guimaras, expect that it is a little bit salty compared to those in Iloilo City. There are lots of fishes here, driving safely, and I think they're on their breeding season. I better leave them undisturbed so that they can thrive more and become part of the food chain in this particular creek. The first waterfall, love it. I'll take a closer look at this part of the falls. It has low water volume, but it's fine, it's good. At least I found one. I hope I can find another one. Just a little bit walk going down, and let's see. By the way, this falls is a free to swim, so therefore you are allowed to swim here anytime if you want. Let's check how deep the water here, and I see the pool itself, and let me see how deep it is. And it's, oh my goodness, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. The water, oh my goodness, how can I swim here with this kind of dangerous waterfall? The water seems to be calm, but actually it's very deep. I can see an underground cave beneath. I want to be more precise in my information that I found here, so I think I'll go. Don't know if I would swim here or not, because I'm worried about my safety in this waterfall. But the place is very beautiful. Only the water quality, I think, is not good. This is exactly the waterfalls. Yes. This waterfall is intended for those who love thrill, like this one. See that high? There's the water source of this waterfall. But this one, I think the water is flowing here, going down to that, what they call a giant sinkhole. So far the water quality is very low, and I think this is not the safe place for me to take a bath, because garbage, there are lots of garbage, so many garbage in the area. A few minutes from now I could go down there and check how deep the water here, and what kind of wildlife I can find in that sinkhole. In fairness, the place itself is majestic, a wonderful work of nature that only found here in Guimaras. There are lots of giant holes in the area. Perfect. Even in this higher altitude, I can see fishes in the area. But hey, I think these are not ordinary fishes. These are eels, locally known as igad. This place is just underneath a small valley where native trees grows here. These tubes are not just tubes. These are water pipes that supply water on a lower ground, because on the lower part of this creek there's a I think it's a village or something like that, a sitio maybe. There are sitio down there that is being supplied by water using these pipes, because if they don't put pipes in some of the water sources above, this place would become so dirty. As what I've seen right now, there are lots of garbage here, and it's not a good idea to swim here. I think the water here is polluted. Better take some rest and eat something. Let me show you an example how a tree works and prevent erosion. See this tree? You see that roots? That's how they work. The reason why forest has lots of water compared to other places like deserts, because trees, their roots like that, they tailored every rocks that they can latch on. Here's another example. That tree, look at its roots. They latch everything, including rocks, dirt, and other organic compounds, and compress it using their roots. This way, rainwater that will sink into the ground like this, like that flows from the creek, instead of flowing rapidly, trees absorbs this water by compressing the soil and latch their roots on the rocks to prevent water from flowing rapidly. This way, other wildlife can benefit in this behavior of a tree. So the more trees you can find in a certain place, the more groundwater you can find. This is no exemption, because this is actually a rainforest, a local rainforest in an island here in Guimaras. By a series of cutting of trees, Guimarasnons know how to preserve forest by like that. They cut trees and allow other organisms to thrive. It's like you cut down, then you replace it with something good that will continue the flow of life here in this particular place. This is how a rainforest works. So if you continue to cut down trees and replace them with trees with shallow roots, then expect that massive flooding and lack of water in a certain area will happen. And we don't want that to happen, because that will intensify the sixth extinction, which is actually happening right now. You know, guys, I'm not a scientist. I'm not working in any government organizations. Sure. Because nature was created by God for us, not for only for humans, but for all life that He created. Plants, fishes, crabs, turtles, birds, anything that He created. It's all part of His master plan. So we humans, we are not God. We are part of nature. So we have no ability to control nature itself. Not even garbage. Yes, we are part of nature. So therefore, it's our job to preserve, not to destroy. Every time you come to this particular place or any form of natural formation created by God, please don't leave your waste behind. Garbage, diapers. I saw a lot of these garbages here in this beautiful waterfall. And for me, it's an insult. An insult because God created nature perfectly for us. But we, human beings, we destroy it for our own benefits and for our own greed. Cutting down of trees is okay as long it is being used as a construction materials, firewood. But if you cut down trees just to sell it as a logging for your logging business, it's dangerous. Trees, animals, we humans, we believe we have spirits. So the nature itself has spirits. They have natural spirits that we need to preserve and respect. Because one day when we all die, we separate our physical body and spiritual body. We ourselves end up as one with these spirits, waiting to be punished by God because of our negligence in His master plan, which is this nature. This belief that I used to apply in my life isn't just based in religion, because religion and naturalism has its own principles. All I want to tell you guys is respect to Mother Nature. Mother Nature is different from God. God Himself is much powerful than Mother Nature. Mother Nature is like our home. We human beings live in the heart of nature because nature created humanity based on the plan of God. The master plan that we human beings will manage this masterpiece of creation designed by God for us. But this is the reality. Mother Nature is crying for help, and we humans, we always neglect it. All we want is to create and destroy, create and destroy. We forgot how to preserve Mother Nature. This is a sad thing for me, for those future generation who wants to see this kind of beautiful place, that in the near future it will gone out like a memory. Hope that my message in this video will awaken those who love to destroy nature, those who disrespect nature, that no matter how powerful, how influential you are, one day your body, your physical body, will be eaten by nature, because your body is just part of nature. All the elements flowing in your body has been borrowed from nature itself. And when we die, surely nature will claim what we borrowed, and we have no exemptions. Either we will be buried or cremated. That's how nature works. What we destroy, we must pay it. I'll show you the road going to Ambakan Falls. You see those houses? Those long fence mansion? Just find this entry point. It's right in front of that store. There you can find this narrow road going to Ambakan Falls. It's going straight down, then going left. Follow the trail and you end up in a creek, the one they called Ambakan Creek. That's where Ambakan Falls can be located. It's actually uphill here in this highway, but not totally steep because the steeper portion starts there. Always remember this road. This small road right in front of that house. Remember that name, Ambakan Falls. I have done my business in Ambakan Falls. So let's go to the next destination, Balaang Bukid.